Thank you guys for tuning in on another edition of Through the Bible. And our goal is to just go through all 66 books of the Bible to try to pique your interest at a time where a lot of us will have more reading time than we have previously. And so today we're looking at 2 Samuel. In 1 Samuel, the primary characters are Samuel, Saul, and David, King David. And in 2 Samuel, really the key figure is King David. If I read to you out of Acts 13:22, it says that, beginning in verse 21, then they asked for a king, the people, and God gave them Saul, the son of Kish, a man of the tribe of Benjamin, for 40 years. And when he had removed him, God, he raised up David to be their king, of whom he testified and said, I have found in David the son of Jesse, a man after my heart, who will do all my will. And that's a pretty it's an incredible testimony to get from God, for him to say that Dave was a man after his own heart. And I see that in and through the book of 2 Samuel. In the first chapter, we get some additional information regarding the death of Saul. And what is amazing to me, and I think is just a great perspective on how to be a godly leader, is what is entailed in being a man after God's own heart oftentimes comes at your own personal expense. Your physical suffering, things that you love to do. To give you an example, basically, David recognized that Saul was one that was anointed by God to be king. And so therefore, even though Saul tried to kill him on two different occasions, David didn't dare raise his hand against the Lord's anointed. And that's a key principle in the life of David. And systematically, David, because of Saul, wasn't able to worship publicly, I'm sure, like he would have loved to. There's just such a list of things that Saul did. I mean, he canceled David's first wedding to one of his daughters, and then the daughter that he did allow him to marry, Michal, was not a real winner. And just systematically, you see all these negative things that Saul does to David, but what was in his heart was seeking the things after God's heart. It reminds me of Isaiah 50 verse 7, when we get the perspective that Jesus set his face like flint towards the cross, that nothing would deter him from doing that. And that's what I see with King David. And in chapter 1 of 2 Samuel, I mean, basically the Amalekite that confesses to him how he took the life of Saul was an affront to David, and the Amalekite thought that he would be gaining favor in his eyes, in David's eyes. But David said, how can you do this? How could you were you not afraid, verse 14, 2 Samuel 1, to put out your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed? And so today, we might ask ourselves, in our calling, in a time where there can be many things that vie for our attention as Christians, as leaders, as people that are called to serve the true and living God. You know, what kind of things do we allow ourselves to distract us? David not only wasn't distracted by so many things that gave him personal injury, but he was able to be the king of Israel, that after him every king was compared to David. And I believe the key was that his heart was to go after God's heart, to seek after the things that move and that just bless God. And as a result, affected people, and people were able to observe that. It was imitatable. It was a teachable gift that he had for doing that. And here we are, gosh, how many thousands of years later, still getting blessed by it. So I hope you dig into 2 Samuel and get blessed. Thanks for watching.